Gavin is here. Big day in the Premier League today, but we can't go in on that. We've got to talk about Luton against Coventry yesterday. What a day for Luton Town supporters.
Yeah, what a day, what a story. I mean, for both sides, either of them going up would have been an incredible story. But for Luton themselves, you know, been 30 years plus since they were in the top flight. Non-league 9 years ago, it's just an amazing story. And, you know, you see the players, you see how much it means to them. The people who own the club, who are running the club now, they're all invested, they're all loving it because they are Luton through and through.
First time in the Premier League.
Yes, indeed. Indeed, right, yeah. But they were relegated from the old First Division just around 30 years ago, just over 30 years ago, missing out on that brand new, highly lucrative Premier League money. But they have now finally got their place back there after beating Coventry in dramatic style at Wembley in the Championship playoff final. Joe Linsky was watching.
The Premier League has its newest addition, the team who, for 9 years, have just kept rising. In 2014, Luton Town were in the 5th tier. Now they've won this sport's most lucrative match. 5 years ago, Luton and Coventry met in League Two. Now one would reach the top flight. In these high stakes, Luton stuck to their plan. They go direct to their talent up top, where Elijah Adebayo set up Jordan Clark. 3 years ago, he joined them from Accrington Stanley. Now Luton had takeoff. But Coventry too have scouted out stars. Gustavo Harper dragged them back into this game. 1-1, so extra time. Where Luton's Joe Taylor thought this would take them up, it was ruled out by VAR. Excruciating, exhilarating, this playoff went to penalties, where Luton struck a perfect 6, and on sudden death, for Coventry, it would be cruel. As Luton went up, they were watched by their captain. Tom Lockyer had been stretchered off in the first half, but from hospital joined in with his team's piece of history.
These Luton fans now head back to their town at what is the high point of an extraordinary journey. Less than a decade ago, this team were in non-league. Now Premier League football is coming to Kenilworth Road.
Absolutely amazing. Couldn't think of anything better.
My dad took me to see Luton when I was that high, not very high, and it's just a dream come true.
Luton were last in the top flight in 1992. They went down just before the riches of the Premier League rebrand. The prize that goes with promotion is £170 million. For this club and its ground, that could be transformative. Those plans will come later. For now, Luton can celebrate their remarkable rise. Joe Linsky, BBC News at Wembley.
Yes, what a day of drama, and we're joined now by Nick Owen, who was chair of Luton from 2008 to 2017, and by Kev Harper from Luton Town Supporters Trust. Gentlemen, great to see you both this morning. To both of you, how does it feel? What's it like being back in the top flight?
Oh, hi, Gavin. I'm buzzing, still pinching myself. Cannot believe it after what we've been through. You know, a group of guys got together back in 2008 to try and save the club on the brink of bankruptcy. We ended up in the conference and somehow, however ambitious those guys were, those investors were, they would never have thought that we'd get to the Premier League so quickly. It is just beyond belief. We're thrilled.
Absolutely right. And Kev, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I echo what Nick just said there. It's just an incredible achievement from everyone from top to bottom that's been involved in our journey, and to be able to sort of dine at the top table again, it's special times for our football club.
And what is it going to mean for the actual town itself? You know, it's a small town, relatively speaking. You know, from a fan base perspective, perhaps not as well supported as the other teams in the Premier League. What will it mean for Luton to have a top flight team back in the big time again?
Absolutely everything, really. Oops. Go on, Nick.
I was going to say it is very well supported, really. It's just because it's a small ground. The gates don't look particularly big. But, you know, we took 36,000 yesterday to Wembley. We took 42,000 to the Johnson Paint final in 2009. So the support is there, but just such a small ground. There's a huge waiting list for season tickets. So when we do get a new stadium, I think the crowds will look considerably bigger. The fan base is huge, and it's worldwide as well. Sorry, Kev.
No, you're absolutely right. I was just going to add on to that there were fantastic scenes in the town yesterday from those that couldn't get a ticket to the stadium. The local council put a big screen up in a big local park, and there were loads of people there. And when the winning penalty was missed, the scenes were fantastic. So yeah, the town is it's alive, it's buzzing, and it's great to see.
It really is great to see, and also, you know, from a quality perspective and how the team have been performing over the years, it's not really a surprise that Luton have been threatening to get promoted to the Premier League. They've been up there amongst the Championship big hitters for the last few years, punching above their weight, arguably. Nathan Jones set up a really good structure for the team there, for Rob Edwards to take over and effectively get them to this point now. Is this a surprise that they're promoted, would you say, Nick?
I'm perhaps a bit surprised it's happened so soon, but we have been on a continual sort of graph of progress over the last 10 years or so. We have to pay compliment to John Still, who was our manager, who got us out of the conference, and then, as you say, Nathan Jones and Rob Edwards. It's just amazing that it's happened so quickly. You know, we thought perhaps it would happen when we got into a new stadium. We were sort of more ready for the Premier League, but we're there now. This will facilitate, speed up, accelerate are moving to a new stadium because the funds will be so invaluable. It's a fantastically exciting time for Luton Town Football Club, all the people who support it and stood by us in such terribly dark times, and of course the community as a whole. The profile, the worldwide profile for Luton now, it will really help the community massively.
That's a very good point you make there. And Kev, to you, in the sense of what Nick's saying there about the dark times, what has it been like as a supporter of the club going through, you know, non-league sort of levels, bankruptcy, administration, points deductions, all that drama, to where you are now? What's it been like for you as a fan?
Tough, yeah. I mean, you sort of go to sleep not knowing if the football club's still going to be in existence the following day. That's how sort of on our knees we were. And then you have to endure the sort of the low times, the kind of embarrassments really of some of the losses in the conference to teams that, you know, we without being arrogant, we should never have really lost to. And slowly but surely there's been a turnaround, and, you know, we've built and we've built and we've built, and here we are now getting ready to play in the Premier League. The story's just incredible. It's the best story I've ever known. And yeah, we've still got one more chapter to write in the Premier League.
And Nick, everyone will know you from ITV Sport, from TVAM, Good Morning Britain, and then on the BBC, Good Morning with Anne and Nick. But for the last 26 years, you've been presenting Midlands Today, which is Coventry City territory. You're going to have to go back to work and put on a glum face for them, aren't you?
Yeah, I mean, it's strange, really, because I'm very fond of Coventry City as a football club, and I know so many people there. Both, you know, behind the scenes and supporters, really keen supporters. One of my best buddies is a former chairman of the club. We've been texting all the time, you know. I feel very sad for them in many ways because they're a hugely worthy cause to get up there back to the Premier League after what they've been through. And to lose on penalties, how cruel is it to lose anything on penalties? One person, poor old Darby, I feel so sorry for him that he's going to live with this for quite a while. And I know everyone will be comforting him, including our players are comforting him, I'm delighted to say. Yeah. But it has been difficult walking the tightrope as a known Luton supporter, talking all about Coventry City. But I'm sad for them personally, but obviously delighted for our football club. And I'm sure Coventry's time will come again because they're a fine football club and they're on the up.
Absolutely.
Potentially lucrative, obviously, for the football club. But there are reports that saying Brighton's first year in the top flight generated £200 million for the local economy. So, Kev, you know, this is a huge story, not just in football terms.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing, that the club represents the community. So everyone who stepped onto that pitch yesterday knew they weren't just playing for themselves, for the supporters, for the football club, but they were playing for our town. Luton gets talked down far too easily, far too quickly. It's actually a wonderful, multicultural, diverse, brilliant town to be from. And now for the next year at least, we get the chance to show the worldwide media just how good Luton as a town and a place can be.
Brilliant stuff. Kev Harper, Nick Owen, thank you very much indeed, and congratulations again. I have to say as well, Nick, I'm not sure if you remember this, but about 20 years ago, you presented me my A-levels back in the day in the Midlands. Yeah, so Luton weren't in the top flight then, but they are now. There we are. Thank you very much, guys. Much appreciated, Nick and Kev Harper there.
Thank you, guys.
Right, attention's turned then to the Premier League later on to see who Luton will be replacing. Two of Leicester, Leeds and Everton will be relegated to the Championship. All three sides are at home. Leicester and Leeds are most in peril.